Yeah. So let's see. Shadow beings, right? Shadow people. A lot of people have been telling me they've been seeing these things their whole lives. Some of them describe it as a person with a hat and red eyes, and then other ones are just shadow beings. But one specific person told me that once they started listening to binaural beats and practicing hemispheric synchronization, which is what binaural beats was designed for essentially, they started seeing three figures consistently for a month until they gave up and stopped doing the whole, astral travel exercise. So you have to understand that there's different people and different races, different religions, different color skin, hair, whatever the fuck. The same thing goes for beings of other dimensions or other planets, anything really. There's a variety, right? It's not the same shit. We might not tell the difference between a gray alien and another gray alien, but to them it's different. So same thing here. So the entities that the person I'm talking about saw were not shadow beings or people per se. Because there was three and because they were consistent and they went away when they stopped practicing this, it means to me that it was probably viewers sent by the company. Which company? Well, the company that coined binaural beats as a method of astral travel, the company that used binaural beats as a effort to retaliate against spies that were going against the United States, which from the Russians. So the Russians figured out how to use psychic abilities to spy, because in Russian folklore and Russian tradition, magic has kind of always been around. And so it was somewhat like a sigil, so witchcraft, sorcery type of shit, but predominantly just magic in general. Because we don't, like in Russia, I still know, because I know I'm from there, they don't consider it as like bullshit. Like, there's superstition is heavy in Russia. Like, there's a lot of weird superstitions. Like, if I step on your foot, you have to step back on my foot. And I'm more than just a black cat. You don't shake hands through a doorway. You don't take your trash out before after the sun sets. All these things are superstitions that pertains to magic, essentially, because if you believe in it, it'll work. That's how voodoo works. If you don't believe in voodoo, I can't cast a spell on you. But if you believe it, even for a little bit, then you're fucked. Or I could, potentially hurt you, because it's you essentially creating this. So it's me adjusting my manifestation to your mind because you believe in it, and you will generally manifest that spell onto yourself. So the company does something called remote viewing. The company's, by the way, CIA, obviously. So they do remote viewing, and the way it's done professionally is with three people. So there's a viewer that's in a state of trance. So it's almost like hypnotized, but he's able to communicate. So not lucid dreaming, but he's not like awake. Then there's a monitor, which is his guide, and tells the remote viewer when he's going too far off into his own imagination and has to pull him back into that second or third thought, like we were doing with the practice when I do it, with you guys. Then there's the third person, and he's taking down notes for all things. So there's three essentially entities, but the fact that the one is viewing, the other two are going to be accompanying him. Not in a mental state, but they're going to be with him in his mind. Because he's telling the one and he knows that there's another one. So you will see three figures. One may be more active, one may be sitting down, one might look different because he's the viewer, the actual viewer, and the other two will just be behind him. A lot of people have reported seeing a person sitting in a chair and two people next to him. That's it right there. They're not evil, they're just there to make sure that you're not doing anything you're not supposed to do. Now, why would the CIA send remote viewers? First of all, how would they know? How do they know that to send them to your house? Where the fuck are you? Well, the thing is, they don't need to have your address. They don't need to have your location or your name, nothing. Once you hit that hemispheric synchronization, you automatically set off an alarm or a trigger or some sort of a marker, for example, to let them know that, you are doing it. They scan. They basically just scan anywhere, and they see any new viewers today. And then the people that are responsible for that sector will be like, yeah, there's one. Let's go check him out. So they don't essentially pop into your house and look around, although they can, but they're not going to waste their resources on anything like that. They're just going to make sure that your activity in the astral realm isn't anything against what they need you to be. Now, they don't need you per se, but once you hit hemispheric synchronization, once you go up there, once you kind of like float around, even if it's just around your house, they're going to know. And they're going to come by, they're going to check it out and make sure you're not doing anything stupid. Usually they'll monitor you for you about a month, and then they'll leave. Or they'll continue, depending upon what you're doing. Now, if you're doing something that you're not supposed to be doing, and I can get into that, but it's kind of difficult to achieve, is basically anything outside of helping yourself, like helping yourself heal, right? So you could do the energy bar tool, you could heal yourself, then you could remote view on your friends. That once you start remote viewing other locations, that's when they start to get a little antsy-pantsy, because they don't want you remote viewing their location. Because one of the things about remote viewing is that there's nothing that could stop it. Like you could be underground, you could be on a different fucking planet, you could be anywhere, and I will find you if I need to, because, that's the thing. It's kind of like that X-Men thing when Professor X scans for all mutants. It's legitimately like that, but it's just not so vivid because obviously it's a movie and he's a mutant. But yeah, that's essentially what it is. So anything outside of healing yourself, doing like little bullshit, and this is the other thing you have to understand, like when Robert Monroe made these tapes for people, first they were classified for the longest time, and the government scrapped the project because they weren't, the percentage of error wasn't high enough. But that's bullshit, because if I could figure out where the percentage of error lies, I'm sure they did too. And they didn't scrap it. They're just not telling us that they're doing it because they want to see. Basically, it's a way of recruiting people without recruiting them. So just like a hacker that hacks into the NSA, the NSA doesn't put him in jail. They offer him jail or to work for them, because why wouldn't you have the best hacker that just hacked your security work for you? Same thing here. So they're just checking you out and seeing how strong you are. So then, have I met people and have I spoken to people that have had people show up at their door? Yes. Yeah, with black ties and all the jazz. And then I had another dude that was telling me about, he was a young kid, he was like 21 years old. Same thing, he was a really talented viewer, like really, really knew what he was doing. And just a regular plain clothes dude showed up at his door, one guy, and he chatted with him, and he essentially just recruited him into the CIA. And that's all you do. I mean, you don't need to be in the field, you don't need to be analyzing. If you're just a remote viewer, that's what you're gonna go there for. But the thing is if you can remote view to the point where they're at with a trance, without a trance, imagine what you could do in a trance. So that's how they kind of get these perspectives. So when Bob Monroe tells you to put all of your fears, worries, concerns, and physical matter into the energy conversion box, and then tells you that to say your mantra, that you are that you are more than your physical body, yada, 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 he says that it's your energy, so nothing can hurt you. But then he proceeds to tell you that you need to put everything in a box away, lock it with a tightly sealed lid, and it's heavy for you, but professional remote viewer, there's no lids, like there's no box, there's nothing. You can't hide anything. That's the whole point. That's why they come and check you out, because they can't hide. So then he says you have to make a protective energy balloon. So if nothing could hurt me, why am I taking all these precautionary measures? Well, because they're not precautionary measures, they're Easter eggs for the CIA. So you put everything in the box, you put all your fears, worries, and concerns in the box, and your physical matter. Now they know what you look like and what you're afraid of, okay? Then you make the protective energy balloon. It's not really protecting you from shit. You're just being in a big balloon so they can tell who's who. Because up there, there's a lot of shit floating around out there. There's interdimensional beings, there's extraterrestrials, there's remote viewers, there's dead people. So one of the ways to tell the difference is because the people that are still alive have the cord. No cord means you're dead. So the entities up there, the guardians of the Akashic Records, so to speak, they check that out. They make sure, they don't really make sure, they're just there. And they oversee what's going on. Is it possible that something like a Matrix Neo thing happens and something blows up the astral realm? Not really, but they do kind of have an idea. Now, there's also bad things like interdimensional beings like archons. Now, these motherfuckers, those are the shadow figures that everyone's talking about. Those are the ones with the red eyes. There's the Hat Man, all of them. What they do is they feed off of your energy, like the fear. So basically fear, anger, anything like that, they will feed off of, because that's what they need to survive. And the reason that they pop in and out is I'm sure they could, if they wanted to, just show up and just let you see them. And you'll see a dark, shadowy figure just floating in your fucking living room. And you'll freak the fuck out. Because holy shit, what the fuck? And you'll be scared shitless, and they'll have their feast of your fear and whatever not. But then after about a week, you're just going to be like, yo, you're going to start paying rent? Because you're not going to be afraid of it anymore. He's just floating there. It's going to startle you maybe, but after 2 weeks, And then that's it. No more fear for them. So they're fucked. So they know this. That's why they pop in and out, because they'd rather eat little by little and just be continuous. So now that you're aware of this, it's going to be easier for you if you do see them. Because all you have to understand is, as many times as you've seen them, as many times as they've taken your energy and left you faint and weak, they've never hurt you, like physically. They hurt you mentally, but you think about it, it's not them, it's you. You're bugging out over this. One thing that they don't like, and this is not the viewers, this is the entities, is they don't like cursing for some reason. Like fuck, shit, bitch, cunt, all these fucking things. They don't like it. I don't know how they know it, but they don't like it. So if you see them, because I've tried, and then I've tried, and what they'll do is they'll manipulate physical matter a little bit to see if they can piss you off. Because anger is easier to attain than fear, unless, they pop in and out. So if they pop in and out of your peripheral, if you're not afraid of that anymore, then they'll go to the next step by hiding shit from you. Now, how do they hide things from you? Say you're sitting at your kitchen table and you have like a couple things on there, right? One of those things is your glasses. One of the things is a pen and a lighter or whatever. It's all there. It's all there. You didn't put it anywhere else. And all of a sudden the lighter fucking disappears. Like, you're like, where the fuck is my lighter? Holy shit. I just fucking left it. You're thinking this in your head. You're not saying it out loud, and it's gone. And then all of a sudden you look and there it is. It's like it was there the whole time, but you could swear to God you didn't see it before. That's because they have a way of masking that and putting that into your blind spot, like where they live, so you can't see it. And you could look right at it and you'll miss it. It's just bananas. So then you'll get pissed. What the fuck? Now they're eating, you see? So you have to understand that, first of all, as crazy as everyone tells you might sound by talking to yourself, don't listen to anyone but yourself in terms of that, your inner voice. Speak out loud. Fuck what everyone else thinks. Fuck what anyone thinks about you. Yeah, maybe don't talk to yourself about archons in the middle of a dinner party, but if you're at home in your living room and you see some shit out of the corner of your eye, fucking in your firmest, loudest voice with intent, tell it to get the fuck out of your house and watch it disappear. As angry as you want it to be, I laugh at them. I'm just like, get the fuck out of here. What are you doing? And they don't like it. They like, for instance, the way I know this is because like this shit happened to me all the time. Like, I stopped like worrying about them popping in and out of the corner of my eye because I'm like, what the fuck, whatever. So now they started hiding shit, like my glasses, like my fucking lighter, like anything, like my cup of whatever, drink beer, like whatever. So I'd be like, where's the beer? I'm like, and so then I addressed them. I'm like, give me back my fucking beer. And before I even finished the sentence, it was right there. Like it'd been there the whole time. It didn't appear or reappear. There was no, it was just. So I did it more and more. And like, I'm not saying this because I'm thinking about it, I'm imagining it. Like, maybe I'm imagining it. Maybe it's a part of my mind. But if that's a part of my mind, then so are the shadow beings that you see out of the corner of your eye. You're just tired. Relax. No, you know what I mean? Like, please, give me a break. You can either go all in or not. So it's happened to me more than a dozen times, more than 24. Like, it's happened to me a lot. That's why I'm telling you this. This is how I've realized about the telekinesis shit. Because the way that started with me too has happened to me a bunch of times. I would put something on a ledge, I would walk away, and then it would fall. But like shit that had no business falling. Like you wouldn't be on the ledge like tipping. It would just be like way off the ledge. But I touched it last. I would walk away 10 steps, boom. I'm like, what the fuck is going on? I thought it was at a ghost at first. I thought it was these fucking things knocking shit over. But then I realized that's only things that I touch. And like recently. So that's it. So then there's other entities like the lieutenants of the shadow beings, the fucking sassy pants ones. They're like the ones that the ancients write about, the ancient books. They're like the darkness. So basically, like you could be in a dark room and then you will see another darkness enter, like that's darker than the darkness of your room. And it's a lot harder to get rid of because cursing's not going to work. And it's really got to be what you believe inside. So you really have to understand that you are stronger than they could ever be. And you are basically like a more supreme being because you could operate in both realms and they can't affect you other than just try to scare you. But if you don't have full intent, they will take your fear and you will be drained. You could have a full night's sleep. You wake up feeling like shit. Not because you're sick, but because these fucking things came. They're rare though. They don't come around a lot because they know that they're vulnerable. That's the other thing is like these other shadow beings. Remote viewers you can't do shit with. You curse at them all you want. They're not going to leave because if they want to watch, they're going to watch. They're people. They're just people just doing that. You know what I mean? They'll laugh at you if you're cursing at them. Actually, it's not that accurate. It's not like a camera inside your house, but they could take snapshots of your room, what you're doing, where you are. The shadow beings that pop in the corner of your eye, you could curse them off and they'll bounce, but you won't hurt them. It's hard to hurt them unless they actually are really like on your shit. But these other things, these dark fucking super ones, they'll really take your energy. Those you could hurt. Because what they try to do is they try to go for your fear cord. So apparently you have a cord of your fear like down your spine or some shit. And they try to get it, you know? So what you got to do is once you, with full intent, realize that you're a more supreme being, you just close your eyes. And that's when shit gets real. Because you could see like, you can't see it, but you could see something like kind of trying to get around your neck and choke you almost. Because that's what it is. They try to choke the fear out of you. You take it, you rip your fear cord out of your back, and you fucking strangle them with it. All right? Strangle the strangler with the same rope it's trying to kill you with. Exactly. I know it's kind of like, seems fantastic, but like I said, everything, including the the pandemic we're currently in is fantastic. I mean, I have to wear a mask in New Jersey, but not in New York. Give me a fucking break. Fantasy, please. You're living in fucking fantasy if you think that's cool. So it's hard to do. I have done it once, but it took me a while to get there. And this thing was really playing with me. Like, it was just taunting me, like, all the time. I remember, I'll never forget, it was in Queens. And some people call it spirits that have unfinished business. People call it archons, whatever you want to call it. It's the same thing, you know? There's different levels, there's different entities, but you should know, first and foremost, that unless someone's knocking on your door and you could hear it, you're good. And if they are, just say either you'll stop or you'll join the CIA. Happy thinking. See you soon.